event when I came to Boswell 7 years ago, and I was really perplexed about the buildings because we have an A building, but I didn't know where the B building was. And so Sharon actually walked me around and showed me how the buildings were dedicated to people, so I just think that it's wonderful that we're doing this for her today. She is, of course, a former and retired teacher of Boswell High School and an icon to the community and to our high school. And we are very happy to host this event, and I just want to give you a welcome to Boswell High School. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Chadwell, our MC.
One thing everybody in this room shares is the heritage of Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD and Boswell High School. We're very fortunate to be a part of a community that has a rich history and a passion for people. We care about people. People are important. And today we have the opportunity to honor Sharon Young. And we're very, very thankful for this opportunity to be here today. We have family, friends here, co-workers, people that know Sharon very well over all of her history of working in the school district. We're very, very, again, thankful for this time to be here today. We have a number of speakers, and I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'm going to give them the opportunity to speak, but there are a few people I want to introduce. And if you would, I'm going to call their name. If just please hold your applause until I finish calling all their names. First is our board president, Steve Newcomb. Secretary, Donna Webb. Mr. Tim Daughtry. Mr. Dick Elkins. Ms. Liz Hatley. And unable to be with us, Dr. Marilyn Colbert. Please give them. Oh, she's there. Okay, there we go. Give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Also with us today are members of the district leadership team, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Linda Parker, Chief Operations Officer and former Boswell Principal Clete Welch, Executive Director of Educational Services Dr. Dana Barnes, and Director of Communications Megan Overman. Thank you. We have some former administration, former Boswell Assistant Principal Leo Leslie, former Boswell Principal Bert Weems, and Steve Griffin, and I mentioned Mr. Welch as well, so if we would give them a round of applause. And last but not least, former Superintendent Weldon Halfley is also here in the audience. We are here for one singular reason, and that's for Sharon. And I'm really privileged to be able to stand here and MC today because just like Nika, being able to visit with her in this last several years that I've been here since 2010, every conversation has been remarkable because we know she has a passion. And one thing that we all share is we love and care about kids, and kids and serving them is our center focus. And she had 45 years of doing that here at Boswell. And so at this time, I want to welcome Ms. Nancy Marston, a former student of Ms. Young, to deliver the invocation.
As a former teacher and the daughter of two teachers, I know the best thing about being a teacher is that it matters. And the hardest thing about being a teacher is that it matters every day. As he said, I'm Nancy Newcomb Marston, and I graduated from Boswell in 1977, and Sharon Young was my very favorite teacher. Because of her, I took every business class that Boswell had to offer, and when I look at my high school letter jacket, I have my patches for gymnastics and cheerleading, but I also went to state in shorthand and typing. So I have those patches in my letter jacket. My senior year, I was her teacher assistant, so I got to spend a period with her every day, and I remember her great smile, and she was always so positive and energetic and had it all together. And she really made me feel that I was capable of doing anything that I wanted to do or being anything that I wanted to be. And that was a great feeling for an 18-year-old to have, so thank you for that. Okay, let us pray. Lord, we thank you for Sharon Young and the opportunity to honor her today. We are grateful for all she means to this school and to the thousands and thousands of students that she has taught, motivated, and inspired. We're thankful for this courtyard that will be a reminder for everyone who passes through it to think of the wonderful person that she is. Lord, we ask that you bless the students, teachers, parents, board members, employees, and all who promote sound education in this community, and that you grant Sharon Young peace and comfort for the rest of her life. Amen.
Thank you, Nancy. And now we will please welcome former business teacher colleague Tracy Hager.
Good evening, I'm Tracy Hager, and I'm a proud former pioneer from 1994 to 1998. Boswell was my first teaching assignment, and so it was my first teaching experience, and I'm the teacher I am today because of Sharon. She taught me so well, and she made me the teacher I am today. I'm so honored and privileged to be here to celebrate Sharon. When I first started teaching here, I loved it. I knew this was the place I wanted to be. And the reason why I knew that is because the first person I met here was Sharon. And we were instant friends, and we've been friends for 25 years. And I wouldn't be the person or the mother or anything if God hadn't put me here as my first teaching experience. She's an amazing lady, and she's made me the person I am today. Micah was talking about how she's taught so many people. She has taught and mentored so many teachers over the years, and so I'm just one of many new teachers that she mentored. She taught me what it means to be a good teacher. She told me that you treat kids with respect, and if you teach a child with respect, then you hopefully will earn that from them, and you'll never have a discipline problem. She told me to be kind. She told me to listen to kids, and to talk to them, not at them. She is an amazing teacher, and she still teaches to this day. When I talk to her on the phone, when she is concerned and talks about my own children, she teaches me about being a good mother, about making good choices. She has taught me and has been my mentor for 25 years. Sharon taught me another thing, is that one thing you definitely have to do as a teacher is to make learning fun and relevant. And that's what CTE is all about, career and technology education, is everything needs to be relevant. And she was the first one to tell me to make it fun, so your kids want to come to your class and so that they want to be there. And she also taught me that you need to have fun at work. And boy, did we have a lot of fun those 4 years. We probably had a little bit too much fun. Whether it was all the practical jokes that we got to share with Jim Smith and Bill Adams, or if it was just the amazing conversations or amazing topics that we talked about at lunch with the math teachers and the science teachers. There's some doozies of some conversations we had at those that lunchtime. I think I learned more that first year at lunch than I did anywhere else. We went on these amazing BPA trips with Debbie Brangan, and y'all probably won't know this student, but there was the school board member's son, Jason Tasker, and he went on several trips with us. And he would get in the back seat, and Sharon and I would be driving the van, and we'd be going to San Antonio or wherever, and he would go 80, and Miss Young would just give him that look, like, Jason, calm it down, blah, blah, blah. And he was the same kid that every time we got in the elevator would ask somebody to push button 13. And there's no 13th floor in any elevator. And Sharon would just shake her head. She never got mad. She never scolded him or anything, but she would just shake her head and go, Jason. we need to change a little bit. So anyway, but we had amazing fun all the time, and it was because of Sharon. Oh, and another fun thing that we did is, and I was hoping she would be here tonight because I haven't seen her in probably 25 years, is Della Cromings. Della was such a neat person, and Sharon and I enjoyed teaching with her so much. And we used to love going on summer conferences with her and her husband Philip. And we had some doozies sometimes with her in Austin and so forth. And so the main thing I want you to know about Sharon is that her passion was teaching, and it really wasn't her job. It was her passion, and she taught me that to be a good teacher, it's not really a job, it's a passion. And the main thing is to have fun. And she loved Boswell High School, and she loved her job, and she loved kids, and she loved coworkers, and she just made everything amazing here. And it was the best 4 years of my teaching career because of her. When Mr. Chadwell called me last week and asked if I would say a few words today, and then we were going to dedicate a courtyard to Sharon. I thought that is so perfect, because a courtyard is a place where people meet and friends meet and they talk. And as we all know, Sharon loves to talk. She never meets a stranger. And I can't tell you how many times we've been in an elevator on a VPA trip, and she's the only person I know that could have an anxiety attack because she's claustrophobic. But by the time we got to the lobby, she had 2 friends and a phone number. She never met a stranger. And she made Boswell High School a home away from home for all of us. And we had fun, and we knew our home was with Sharon at Boswell. When I was gathering my thoughts today, or last week, and was trying to decide what I wanted to say, there was so many things I could say, because she's such an amazing person and teacher, and mother. She's an amazing mother, and so there's so many things I could talk about. And she's mentored so many new teachers over the years, not just me, but dozens of teachers. I can't go anywhere in my school district without somebody knowing Sharon, and that's very true. Even today, 25 years later, we can go to Alliance Town Center and eat lunch, and we find somebody that knows Sharon. So everybody knows Sharon's name, and that made me think that when I was trying to gather and decide what I wanted to say, this theme song kept popping into my head. And I thought it just explains Sharon and her love of Boswell so much. And you may not remember this sitcom, but I think a lot of you will. It was back in the probably 90s or late 80s, but it was the Cheers theme song. And the lyrics that I think describe Sharon to a T is, it says, "You want to go where people know, the people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name." And that's definitely Boswell High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Now we're going to have Coach John Avanchan share some remarks.
Thank you. There's a lot of brass in here that stand pretty tall, and this is an honor. I'm greatly honored to be able to speak about Sharon. You know, you get to meet so many people in your life that have a spot in your heart or influence in your life, or a hero. And I think Sharon's a hero to me for a few reasons. You know, when I first got here, I saw her, and this is 2002. Kids, we had a school back then. And she was on year 35 then. And she came in and had a smile on her face that never, ever, every day, didn't matter, had a smile on her face. And it energized you, it gave you, and she always said good morning, always, how you doing, coach? Good. I say, how's our boys doing? And And don't mistake that smile, that kindness for weakness. I'm going to tell you, that girl, she had some football boys, and it didn't take long for them to act right. Because a lot of teachers called me and said, Coach, we got to get this fixed. And never got a call. She said, Coach, I just want to let you know we had a deal, but I fixed it. And those boys had got it right. And I said, I guarantee you did. And so every time you talk to Sharon, she embodied what people talk about. When you leave Boswell, they talk about the culture of what it is, of how great Boswell is. And it's hard to define her, but Sharon was it. She was family. She brought you in. She made you family. She made you one of your own, one of her own, one of these. You felt comfortable here. You could be yourself. She taught other teachers how to look at kids and give them a chance. And love them. And that's what Boswell was a family. It was a lot of love and a lot of just giving kids an opportunity to be as great as they could be. And whatever they chose in life, but give them a chance. And that's something for me that she never had a bad day. And I'm so honored to get to talk because she truly, Sharon, they said you may not be here. I said, there's no way. No way. That girl, so she's so crazy. She did 45 years and then wanted to come back and sub. So she comes back and subs, and her husband passed, and she's talking about going dancing. So this isn't back in year 35. This is year 5 of subbing. And so she's talking about going dancing. She said, them old guys just can't keep up. I said, I guarantee you. So, I could talk a long time, but Sharon, I love you. You're awesome. You've made Boswell what it is, and I appreciate you. And I'll leave you with this. I ate with my 4th grader, little Lily, and so we were talking. And I said, "What do you think I should say?" And I've talked to my family about. I got 3 girls, and Sherry, and we're talking about what should I say. And Lily looked at me at lunch. She said, "Tell them." And how she knew this? This girl, she's smarter than me. It doesn't take much, but she's smarter than me. She said, "Tell them she's kind. She loves kids, and people will never forget her." And I said, "Holy mackerel, that's awesome." Sharon, there's no question about it. You're my hero, and I appreciate you. Thank you for everything, and you deserve everything you get. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach. And now former colleague and EMS ISD trustee Liz Hatley will share some remarks.
Well, when you're the rap and everybody else has spoke ahead of you, they've all taken part of my speech that I was going to give you, Sharon, but here it goes. Sharon, first of all, we're so glad you're here and that you were able to attend, and I agree with John. You weren't going to miss it. Sharon, on behalf of the Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD Board of Trustees, we want to tell you thank you very much, and we are ever grateful for your 45 years of service, and then you came back to be a substitute teacher for many more years on many of our campuses. I know a lot has already been said about you, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we're most grateful for the strong impact you had on students. Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel." And the one thing about you, Sharon, is you knew that academics was important, but the social and emotional well-being of the child made them whole. When I think of you, I think of a scripture from Galatians, and I think you are the poster child for joy, positivity, laughter, a lot of humor, compassion, and patience. And these attributes, along with your contagious smile, made for many great relationships in your many years of education. It was so nice of you to exude them daily as you came to school and you were with all of the students. Another one of your greatest contributions to our school district is how you continue to share the good news to everyone about EMS ISD. So every time we got together, whether it was at retired teachers or Alpha Delta Kappa or gatherings or events, you always sought me out and you said, I got to tell you something. And you wanted to tell me something that was going on in the schools, and you said, because I'm afraid you might not know, and it's important that you do know what's going on in all of our schools. So today, we also want to thank you for being one of our finest ambassadors for Eagle Mountain Saginaw. A wise physician once said that the best medicine for humans is love. Someone questioned the physician and asked, but what if it doesn't work? His reply was, then double the dose. Thank you, Sharon, for doubling the dose of your love to all of your students, your professional peers, the many administrators, and we know that your legacy of love here at Boswell High School will continue on and on. Lastly, accolades to you because, as everyone has said, you were always all in with your attitude and dedication, commitment to education in our district. We have all enjoyed being a part of your adventure, your career, your life story. And so today, with this naming, we proudly announce that your name will live on and on here at Boswell High School, the Sharon Young Courtyard. God bless you.
Thank you, Liz. And just to echo something that several of them said about subbing, I remember when she retired and said, I'm going to start subbing. And I've heard that several times before, and it rarely happens. And then I saw her, and I saw her again. I thought to myself, why did we take your ID badge and your keys away? Because you're just as much as you were before. So I really appreciate that, because that's something that really stands out. We are now going to introduce Mr. Steve Newcomb, our board president, to present you with a plaque from the board.
Sharon, a lot of people here today that love you, so we appreciate all you meant to Boswell. And on behalf of the Eagle Mountain Saginaw Independent School District and the Board of Trustees, it's a pleasure to dedicate this courtyard at Boswell for you, Sharon Young. In the future, this will be known as the Sharon Young Courtyard. And thank you for all you meant to the students, the teachers, and the parents in our community. Congratulations.
So they were making the jokes about she's going to be here, you know, Coach and some of the others. So at 4:15, I'm getting dressed. We didn't think she was going to feel up to coming. And at 4:15, she tells Angie, "Where are my shoes at?" Angie says, "Well, what do you need your shoes for?" She said, "We've got that thing to go to. We've got to get dressed." So that's why we walked in kind of late. But I'm Mike, I'm her son, and just wanted to briefly thank everybody involved. On behalf of Sharon and my mom and the whole family, we are just blessed to have had that time and seen all the things that these speakers talked about. And just we thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts for everybody involved in this. And we just wanted to say thank you and express our gratitude. It means a lot to us, and I know it means a lot to her. So thank y'all very much.
I have a special surprise for the family. We know that there is a state senator who is a senator pro tem, the third most powerful person in Texas politically, Mr. Kirk Watson, that many of you remember probably not as the powerful senator, but as a friend, as a buddy, and you probably have stories. But he's down there in Austin making a lot of good decisions right now, and we really appreciate him and his leadership. But he also, before he became mayor and became a senator, of course, he was your student. And so you're responsible for him in some way. So he has designated a Senate resolution that was passed by the Senate. It's rather long, and so I'm only going to read a couple of parts of it. And it's written in legalese, and so forgive me for the way it sounds. Whereas the Senate of the State of Texas is pleased to recognize Sharon Young for 45 years of exceptional service with the Eagle Mountain Saginaw Independent School District, and whereas Sharon Young joined the Eagle Mountain Saginaw Independent School District in 1968, she spent the entirety of her distinguished career as an educator at Boswell High School, where she taught business and career preparation classes. She retired in 2013. Whereas a dedicated and resourceful educator, Sharon Young had a profound impact on the lives of countless students and fellow teachers, and is truly fitting that she receive special recognition now. Therefore be it resolved that the Senate of the State of Texas 86th Legislature hereby commend Sharon Young on her outstanding career as a teacher with the Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD. A copy of this resolution will be prepared for her as an expression of high regard from the Texas Senate. And so they'll be mailing it to your family, and that you'll be able to have that with pride from the Texas Senate, and more importantly, Kirk Watson. So congratulations. Now the Boswell Choir with the school song. Following that song, we'll have a closing, so please hold your seats after the song. Actually, you do have to stand up. So they'll be bringing the ribbon, and we'll all participate in that. So if you would like to be seated for just a few moments, and so that you can see. And so we'll have a part of this program. If the board members would please come forward, and then afterwards we will have refreshments. And as they're coming forward, I'll share with you. We'll do it right here. Just actually right here in this room. Pardon me. Come on. And after the program, or after the cutting, we will have refreshments. Also, to my right, your left, is the courtyard. It's very beautiful. They've done a great job making sure it's perfect for today. And so be sure to be around and say hello to Sharon, see the courtyard, and have some refreshments. Thank you so much for being here today. Final comments. I want to thank everybody for being here today on behalf of Sharon and the family and her friends. We know we're here because we care about her, we love her, and we're thankful for her. And it is a privilege to be here in this room today with a living legend, somebody who's given so much to the children of Boswell, but also us as adults. And so we thank you. We're privileged to be here. And again, enjoy your time after the program, just being with one another and sharing. Thank you.